Well, let's go to Liverpool right now to speak to our political editor, Peter Cardwell. Good afternoon once again, Peter. Well, I mean, we're getting used to these sort of political stunts, aren't we?
Yes, we are, but an astonishing security breach for someone who is a protected person, who has a police guard 24 hours a day. Keir Starmer, as the leader of the opposition, had someone on stage. This wasn't like the Theresa May one where someone handed her a P45. This was someone who actually was on the stage, covered him in what looks like glitter and shouted his protest. I'm not quite sure what a People's House is, but he was literally dragged off stage by various security people. Keir Starmer took his jacket off at that point with the glitter all over it, made a quip saying it's a good job it wasn't my wife's dress because she's looking beautiful, and then got on with the speech, rolled his sleeves up as he has for other speeches. I remember seeing him in East London one time doing that, where he rolled up his sleeves saying we're getting to work, and his speech is underway. He's about 15 minutes in, and he's talked about various aspects,
I have to say,
things we've expected and some things we haven't expected.
It's a very serious security concern. I mean, thank God he only had glitter.
Huge.
He was a very tall man. Yes. He towered over Keir Starmer. He grabbed him. I have to say, I think most people would be very, very shaken by that. I mean, security got to him pretty quickly, but I would say not quickly enough. There are going to be some big questions raised about that.
Absolutely, Julia, and there was a period of, I would say, between 5 and 10 seconds where the man who looks to be in his 20s was sort of holding Keir Starmer's hand, sort of almost embracing him in a way, and talking about and shouting his protest slogans. But yes, that glitter hopefully is totally harmless, but certainly it could have been something much more harmful than that. And for such a public occasion, for something that is so broadcast so clearly, I mean, that will be what many people will remember of the speech. This is a very, very important speech for Keir Starmer. I'm sure, like anybody, he'd be a bit nervous beforehand, but he's bound to be a bit shaken by that, and then has to stand up and make the speech that he's making right now.
OK, indeed. Well, Peter, thank you very much indeed. We'll get to actually the substance of the speech with you, we hope, very soon as well. Let me just come back to Candice Holdsworth, who's still with me in the studio. I mean, sometimes these protests are quite funny, you know, the handing of the P45 to Theresa May, but actually these are major security breaches. They do interrupt our sort of democratic processes. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I think just barging in like that. And he also looked like such a sinister figure, you know, holding on to Keir Starmer in that threatening way. And it is a big concern that security failed in this way, because it might not have been glitter, it could have been something else.
But this is the thing, I think that's where everyone's concerned about. I mean, people who seem over the years sort of not have a problem with things like, you know, custard pies in the face or people throwing milkshakes. It seems to depend for a lot of people on who the politician is. I deplore all of these things. They're interrupting those processes. You have plenty of opportunity to protest outside. The politicians have to go past you. You get to do that. I don't really think that this is fitting at all, I have to say. Well, look, thank you very much indeed for that, Candice. Coming up,